عشان يتغسل. طب قول يا راجل الناس لبعضها. لكن هذا بعد ما استنفذ كل القوة. مش انه مثلا انا دفعت عنه ونزل ولقيت جبت الثاني بتخرخش. No. Yeah, you panic. او بقول له خذني طلب وصلني للدار. بدفع لك مثلا بجيب لك. انا زين عندي دكان القرية. You find a way. ولو عجزت بتقول له والله مصاري وقعت. سامح غالبا. سامح. Dr. Benson moved his hand very slowly, carefully, very carefully, below the seat until he felt the holster. You know the holster?
Yeah.
It's where you put the gun, pistol. In which he always carried with him his automatic pistol. Wow. Wow. What a reaction. You're a doctor, you should be educated, you should be open-minded. And you are holding a doctor, what kind of society is this? That a doctor is in fear, that he has to hold a gun to protect himself. Some areas in America, it's like holding a gun is like holding a mobile. But still. ايش بيسوي? He drew out the pistol slowly and held it in the dark at his side like this. Dr. Benson stopped the car quickly and pushed the nose of his gun into Ivan's side. Like this. هذا كله في ايش؟ 3 ثواني. Like this. وحب شوف التعريف يعني التشخيص هان the nose of the gun push مش بس كذا like this violence yeah there's anger. وش بقول له؟ Put that watch into my pocket. He said angrily. لاحظ كيف السبيتش تاج angrily مهم. لكن مش gently بتصير تناقض. لاحظ استخدامك لكل كلمة لها معنى يا جماعة. كلمة put لها معنى، كلمة that لها يعني connotations. Watch into my pocket. The rider jumped with fear and put up his hands quickly. My God, mister, he whispered. عشان whispered, my God, mister, I thought you فكرتك. لأنه صار عندنا mutual suspicion. The doctor suspected the rider, the rider is now suspecting. Dr. Benson pushed the pistol even harder. بدك تتكلم معي لسه في حوار. Even harder, I don't know. Into the man's side and repeated coldly. Put that watch into my pocket before I let this gun go off. Evans put his hand up, put his hand in his own vest pocket, and later with trembling hands, you know, tremble, tried to put the watch into the doctor's pocket. With his free hand الايد اللي معهاش ايش؟ اللي فيش فيها مسدس. لاحظوا منطق السيارة واقفة. لو السيارة ماشية كان منطقيا هذه في يصير فيها شوية يعني كان في ناس بيسوقوا بدون ما يمسكوا الايد. بإيده الفاضية فيش فيها مسدس اللي هذا كيف فتح ايش؟ Pushed the watch down, زكها لجوا, his pocket, opened the door and forced the man out of the car. Probably with both his hands or he just kicked him. Wow. لاحظوا كيف القصة كانت هادية وبطيئة. في هنيها that's the climax, that's the top. فإحنا what's just happened? Why? You go back and you read, oh my God. What is this man going to do? What is Dr. Benson going to do? What's going to happen next? Suspense. One of the best short stories, this one. I am out here. لاحظ التشخيص. Pride. I'm out here at night, probably to save a woman's life. But I took the time to try to help you, he said to the man angrily. أنا رايح أنقذ حياة معك. وكيف أساعدك ضيعت وقت عليك؟ وأنت جاي؟ Dr. Benson started the car quickly and the wind closed the door with a loud noise. He bought حلوة تفاعل الريح معاه. Closed the door. He put the pistol back into the leather holster under the seat and hurried on. The drive up the mountain to the Mississippi was less difficult than he had feared, and Ott Surly had sent one of his older boys down the road with a lantern. مع lantern. مصباح فانوس. to help him cross the old wooden bridge. حلوة old wooden bridge. فكرة إنه يعني أمريكا وكذا وفي مناطق لسه فيها جسور قديمة وخشب وإلى آخره. Yeah, that led up to the little farmhouse. Mrs. Thorley's many previous experiences with bringing children into the world apparently helped her greatly because she delivered this baby with little difficulty, and there was no need on doctor's part for the instruments in the long bag. ذكرنا بالإيش؟ The small bag, the long bag. After it was over, however, Dr. Benson لاحظ القصة هان مش التركيز على التوليد الآن. فما بيعطينا تفاصيل، خلص راح والتجربة ولدت الدولة. Took out a cigarette and sat down to smoke. لايك أشرب لك تفضل الناس اللي لسه والدين. أنا يا دكتور. وفجأة من غير مقدمات he's telling the story. A fellow I picked up in my car on my way up here tonight tried to rob me. والله في واحد طلعته معاه في السيارة اليوم وسرقني نهبني إلا شوية. شايف والله الناس يا راجل فيش زي كذا ما بيقدر تمشي، والله بلدنا فيها خير يا جماعة. خير إيش فيها دكتور إيش فيه؟ يا راجل أعطيته ركبت واحد معاه في السيارة وبده يسرقني. هي إيش سويت يا دكتور؟ He said to Ott, feeling a little proud. He took my watch. خد ساعتي. But when I pushed my .45 pistol, المسدس ورقمه, into his side, he decided to give it back to me. لو ما المسدس ولا كان. Ott smiled wide at such an exciting story coming from young Dr. Benson. Well, I'm glad he gave it to you. Ott said, because if he hadn't, we wouldn't have any idea what time the child was born. الحمد لله إن إحنا طالع كان ما عرفناش وقتيش إنه هذا الولد أي ساعة. What time would you say it happened, Dr. Benson? Doc. الآن إيش بيسوي؟ He wants to reach for the. Dr. Benson took the watch from his pocket. The baby, I'm talking like the baby was delivered about 30 minutes ago, and right now it is. He walked to the lamp, to the light on the table, just to double check. He stared strangely at the watch in his hand. The crystal was cracked. Crystal تبعها في كسر. And the top was broken. يكون هذه الساعات اللي عارفينها بنشوفها في القديمة. He turned the watch over and held it closer to the lamp. He studied the worn inscription. Inscription الكلام اللي بيكون مكتوب مفحوط. To Private T. Evans. طلعت ساعة مين هذه؟ Evans بمعنى Evans ما يبدو ما معها ساعة يعني ما فقال له اللي هو حضرتك لما شوف حضرتك ايش قال له دكتور ما قالوش put my watch your watch what watch كان صار حوار put that watch the ambiguity here is horrible وهذه بالمناسبة فيها نوع أحيانا we are ambiguous because we like to talk down to people نحس احنا في ناس انه احنا مش ملزمين نحكيهم تفاصيل فنتكلم بالرموز والالغاز مظبوط كل مروح في الليل وين كان يما غاد وين غاد مع الشباب بس وين قول لي خلص غاد كاش تحكي لنا فانت بتحس انه متضايق بتحكي لك تفاصيل if the doctor had said put my watch or you stole my watch why did you steal my watch have you stolen my watch in a way وبعد كان القصه ما صارتش يعني لكن this also is about the importance of miscommunication. We don't want to communicate properly with people. فدكتور Evans thought that فهو ليش قال له oh my god I thought you were ايش يعني you were ايش مين كمل الجملة you were ايش I thought you were a doctor لكن انت طلعت ايش حرامي بدك تسرق ساعتي was Evans telling the truth about himself كيف عرفنا الساعة بتقول ambulance section whose personal bravery preserved معناها save أنقذ our lives the night of November the 3rd 1943 near the Italian front إنه كان في الفرونت لكن Evans was modest and humble ما حكى قصة حياته وشجعته أنقذت حياة 20 و30 وأنا كذا وإلى آخره. شوف هي معي ساعة الناس أعطتها عشان أنا أنقذت حياته. نيرسز نسبت جونز أند وينجيت. خلص القصة. حلوة ولا مكتوبة؟ It's shocking, right? The ending is it's open-ended. Thank you. That's the term. ايش يعني open-ended؟ الآن طب ايش what did the doctor do next? What happened to Evans? What did he do? We don't know. Why? Sometimes an open-ended story drives you crazy. Because you want an ending. We love endings. But in short stories, sometimes when we write, leaving a piece open-ended is really important for the reader. Because في حاجة اسمها closure. What's a closure? زي الختام، زي أنت تكون صاحبك سافر وما ودعكاش فبتحس like you feel like you should have said, you know. أو واحد عزيز عليك توفى فجأة زي هيك تشعر حزنان على موته وحزنان على إنه ما كانش في closure. So I want a closure, a kind of an ending. ليش ما نعرفون كيف؟ لا إيه؟ فيها closure؟
The closure of the lips.
لا ده من close هي closure. طيب. طيب let's take 3 minutes break. Drink water. It's very hot. Ladies and gentlemen, and try to look at the questions.
Made a
bad judgment.
A bad judgment. So I think there is.
لو كل واحد نعسان بدنا نسامحه كان كل البلد بتجيش صح. والله يا زلمه معلش انا جبت 1% كنت نعسان. هيك والله كنت نعسان هيك 99. But I love what Lou says here. She's trying to understand. Don't ever judge an action, a particular action, without. خليك معي. We usually try to understand. You have to always try to understand. We don't justify wrong deeds or evil. We never justify that. But at least we need to understand because this could be us. It could be me, it could be you, it could be any of us.
Also the writer's appearances with a small cat-like face.
طيب لو كل واحد بمنظره زي هيك بدنا نشوف نص البلد.
It makes Dr. Vincent have negative things about Evans.
So, حرام عليك. Are you blaming Evans for his appearance? هذا كأنك تماما قياسا كأنك like blaming Palestinians for being occupied. يستاهلوا الفلسطينيين هم كذا.
No, but
Don't-
in America.
Don't blame the victim.
Okay,
You're blaming the victim here.
Dr. Vincent the appearances and maybe
طيب لو
everyone.
طيب if I judge somebody by his or her appearance, is it my fault or their fault?
Okay, it was Dr. Vincent's fault. But
So, do you think he's evil? He's bad? This is very important. This is life. This is what we do all the time. Every day we judge people. And we go back home proud. All the time to كذا والله في بنت حكت هيك لا حكت لها هيك. Think of this situation. كمان كان في قصة قرأناها يمكن قرأتوها على الفيسبوك. واحد يقول قاعد أنا في المطار وقاعد جنبي واحد قاعد هو صار ياكل من الكيس الشيبس تبعي. صار قاعد قاعد he's thoughtless بيستحيش. في الآخر قال زي صحيح أخذ آخر واحدة وأنا باكل وبياكل نفسه. فأخذ آخر واحدة وأعطاها لي. What a thoughtless person. وبعد ما قام وقمت بطلع لقيت الكيس تبعي لسه مش مفتوح يعني أنا هو كان فاتح الكيس تبعه وأنا اللي كنت آكل منه. Don't judge people by appearance. This is about snap judgment. You know snap judgment? It's about us judging people. But again, very good. No, for very, very good interpretation.
He made a mistake, but it doesn't mean that he's a bad person.
Yeah.
We must take into consideration that he works at night, always, so he may be used to facing such instances. and
Like, are you
situations.
trying to understand or justify?
I'm trying to understand. It doesn't mean if he used to facing such situations, it doesn't mean that he should judge. That he should judge people. Or
I think whether he is used to this or not, he shouldn't be judging people, treating them this way.
Yes, exactly. So that I said he made a mistake.
So this is a mistake. It could be representative of his life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's evil, he's a bad person.
He might be proud, but it doesn't mean that he's a bad person. Being proud.
Do you think all or most doctors are proud?
No, there is a reason here.
No,
I
generally.
really believe.
Are doctors usually proud about their job, their profession?
In our society, yes.
Yes.
In our society only.
Is that good or bad?
It's bad. They should be a model for other people to be humble and to be modest.
I agree, but at the same time, a little bit of pride is not harmful. هذا بتلعب درس في ناس طب جابوا له 16 سنة. كان تلاقي ابن دكتور بالمناسبة تلاقيه like my dad is showing off. Showing off. Okay, show off شخص, but don't look down upon people. لا تحتقر الناس, لا تزدري الناس. Don't look down upon people. Don't belittle people. Don't.
Here we have two complexes. He suffers from a superiority complex that he thinks that he's better than others.
Yeah.
At the same time, there is an inferiority complex when comparing himself to his father.
Amazing. What's your name?
أنا عن حسن.
في أي في أي سنة؟
خرجت من
آه.
الأقصى.
Interesting terminology here. تعرف superiority complex؟ إيش ال complex؟ لما أقول لك تعرفوا إيديباس complex عقدة أوديب، هذا مش معنى معقد كذا، بس من إيش يعني superior؟
superior أعلى تفوق.
عكسها superiority super، inferiority من inferior. inferior يعني أقل أدنى، super أعلى superior. superiority complex عقدة اللي شايف حاله. بس الأشهر منها اللي هي inferiority complex. بعض علماء النفس some psychoanalysts واحد اسمه آدم Adler, something like this, I can remember the name, thinks that everything we do is because of this inferiority complex. انت بتجتهد عشان تشعر بنقص، بدك تشتري احسن من الناس. تشتري سيارة، تشتغل عشان تصير زي الناس. هيك بيعتقدوا. Everything in life is because of this. طبعا فرويد بيقول كل حاجة في الحياة هي بسبب إيديباس complex، عقدة أوديب. That's the sexual analysis, psychoanalysis. Anyway, so yes, there is a superiority complex, but still there's an inferiority complex. He doesn't find the pleasure his father has found. But he is more important than others still. حتى راح على الناس دخن سيجارة والولد ما لا ولد والولد صغير في البيت موجود دخن والناس مش قادرة تقول له يا راجل. طبعا عشان محمد والد. Right? Because وعشان هم برضه مستفعين له يعني 3-4 سنين he's smart. He's smart يعني سجل على 2. كم ولد عندنا صار 2 3 طب. Yeah, there is this kind of complex. What else do you think of Dr. Benson? Yes, please.
What if the event turned out to be a real thief? Then we would say
فسر.
we would say that Dr.
No,
Benson.
no. But listen. Okay, you think that Evans could be a thief? طيب.
No, I mean if the story.
But isn't the watch his?
No, I mean if the story turned out to be that the event is a thief, we would say that Dr. Benson has done the right thing.
But
If
is Evans a thief? Is there evidence? Can
No,
you
I'm
support?
supposed. I'm supposed that.
طب كيف تكون القصة؟ Can you justify the watch? Justify the watch. الساعة مكتوب عليها Evans و
Maybe he steal it from one.
Oh, so you
No,
say
he
he-
the real watch from Dr. Benson.
He has an illness of.
طيب, we have here
stealing
two-
I make a new story.
2 ideas. Idea number 1, the rider is not Evans. He stole, maybe he killed someone whose name is Evans and took his watch, and he is an imposter. He is claiming that he is Evans, and that's why the watch. But here you have another interpretation. How?
That Ivan steals the watch from Benson.
طيب.
And this is the story.
طب وين ساعة كيف ساعة إيفانس نزلت جيبت هذاك وكيف
No, we will
How?
imagine a new.
Imagine.
So I think he go to the to Sorley family, and when he showed the watch, it would be his watch.
مين؟ whose watch؟
Dr. Benson watch.
لا هذا الآن كلام مقطوع فيه لأنه القصة بتقول إنه the watch is Evans. هذا ما نحور فيه. It's that it's fixed. إحنا we think we imagine other possibilities to the things not directly stated in the story. بمعنى it wasn't mentioned whether that Dr. Benson is married or not, whether he is divorced, widowed, separated, whether he has kids or not. فهنا بتكلم في الموضوع.
Okay, I think my point is that Dr. Benson's reaction is a good way to Ivan's to Ivan's, but he should be more cautious about his reaction.
The reaction is good to Evans. Why? He was threatened with a gun in the middle of the night. He was kicked out.
Okay, how I can identify the thief? I can't look deep in his soul or to his memories, past memories. So when I want to identify a thief, I should look to his face, to his way of reacting with people.
Can you tell a thief by just looking them in the face?
I have no choices. I can't look to his soul, or I can't know his history.
But how do you judge people? How do you know a thief is a thief?
You force.
Okay, I will suppose that
Why
he is
evidence?
a thief, but I take care when I deal with him.
Here there is no one with Evans
You
and
shouldn't.
Dr.
I think you shouldn't be doing this in life, because if you're doing this in life, you're going to turn your whole life into hell. You know, أنت يعني بتقول guilty unless proven otherwise. Everybody is guilty. Everybody is a thief until proven otherwise. كل إنسان حرامي
إلا إذا
مذنب
أثبت عنه.
حتى إذا ثبت العكس، إلى أن يثبت العكس. لا يا جماعة، مش هيك الدنيا. Everybody is innocent. Everybody is innocent until proven otherwise. الإنسان بريء حتى يثبت عكسه. هيك القانون، هيك الدين، الشرائع، كل شيء. I don't think it's good to, but again maybe خلاص أنت طبيعك you're obsessed with thieves and you have a paranoia, you know. kind of ماشي خذ mental note. Be careful. أنا دائما جوالي في جيبي، مش حاطط جوالي على الطاولة، خلاص أنا I don't trust people. Like I don't trust you. I don't trust you. You're going to be hated by everybody, and your life is going to be destroyed. You're going to destroy your own life. But it's amazing that you're thinking outside the box of other possibilities. That no, that rider could be a thief, and the watch he gave to. But the question still is, where is Dr. Benson's watch?
Exactly. They could be exchanged. Both watch.
كيف يعني Evans stole Dr. Benson's watch,
Maybe
put it in his own
and give him the
okay. لما قال له أعطاه اللي مسكها أعطاها.
Yes, because there is no reasonable explanation.
Is there another scenario?
maybe it's يعني وقعت منه السيارة.
Maybe he dropped it before somewhere, either in the garage or in the car, or simply it could be in one of the other pockets, or he could have left it at home.
Or when he was running.
When he bent and ran. شو قديش في possibilities يعني. The question is that we have like 10 possibilities. One of them is the possibility that Evans stole the watch. فراح سيب التسعة وأخذ. And that's the worst thing we do. The story reveals this about us. The story is in a way showing us a post-war society where everybody mistrusts everybody, where mistrust, misjudgment
Yes.
prevail, where we're controlled by this paranoia, this fear of others, the possibility that others are thieves unless proven otherwise, that you only use guns to solve your problems. This is a society that is disintegrating, a society that is falling down, a society that is being torn into pieces. Because the worst thing a society could have is fear. Fear and paranoia. If you live in fear, live in paranoia, you destroy your life, you destroy your whole society. See how beautiful the story is? It opens up so many windows for us, ideas of thinking. That's the beautiful writing. The writings that don't give clear-cut answers. They make you think. They make you think like, it could be this, it could be that, maybe this, maybe that. See, in one of my classes I asked, like, there was this student who was very defensive of Dr. Benson. And it turned out that her father is a doctor. But personal experiences also influence our interpretations and reading. عشان في حاجة في النظرية بيقول reader response theory, where the reader brings his or her own past experiences into the understanding of the text. But the story is not only about Dr. Benson and America and Evans and the post-war. It's also about us, me, you. How? Because in a way, some of us misjudged or judged Evans because of his appearance. And some of us directly attacked Dr. Benson, accusing him of being proud, of being reckless, of being without trying to understand this. There's another story, I'll stop here. There's another story it's called Revelation. It's an American story. One of the best stories ever. The story is about, I think the people are waiting for a doctor at a reception, and there's an old woman. An old woman sitting somewhere, and she's judging everyone. She just describes how horrible she looks. Like, she looks. She's fat. She has acne. The way she behaves, the way, etc. So many things. Everybody gets into the room is judged by this old woman. So what do we do as readers? We hate her. We accuse her of being judgmental, of being hateful, of being so many things. في لحظة ما احنا بنتهجم على المرأة هذه بدك, oh my God, we are doing exactly what she's doing. She's judging people, and now we are judging her. So you feel, oh my God, the story is also about me judging people. It's about snap, snap judgment. شفت منظر واحد أو عمل كذا, you judge. The message here, so many messages. Don't judge people by their appearance. Wait, try to understand. Communicate. كلمة واحدة لو ممكن يعني get my watch ما شفتها والله حاجة. مظبوط ولا لا؟ That's why it's a case of suspicion. A society that lives in suspicion, in fear, in doubt, in paranoia, is a society that is going to implode, explode, is falling down, falling down, falling down.
About the personality of Dr. Benson, I think he is careless one about his health and the other. Because all doctors know the bad effects of cigarettes.
True.
And also he smokes cigarettes in the home of delivering baby.
Yeah.
And baby, when they are delivered, the lungs are...
Yeah, they need fresh air.
Fresh. Cannot appear the smoke of cigarettes.
Yeah, true. It tells that he's reckless, he's indifferent.
He's careless.
لاحظ الكاتب بنى لنا نمط عن شخصيته. How he smoked, how he kicked the man and respected him, and how he smoked again. But I want you to take this at home. Today we're going only just to do now 2. We're not doing 3 now, but it's very important probably next time. Joe, I want you to write an ending. Think of a possible ending to the story. This one, Harry? طيب
put them.
take ما احنا قرأناها بالتفصيل وبتحليل. Think again of a possible ending. Again, don't change any of the facts given in the story. لكن اربطوا خيوط وتوجه. You're free to think anything, but make it realistic. زمان كان في الأدب الإغريقي في حاجة اسمها دوس إكس ماشينا أو ماكينة something like this. لما كان الكاتب يتورط ما يعرفش كيف ينهي القصة تنزل الآلهة من فوق وتحل القصة. درستوها ولا لا؟ كان something like دوس إكس ماكينة أو ماشينا أو something. إنه تعقدت القصة زي الآن Game of Thrones. أنا كيف تتخلص هذا؟ أنت تعال أنت تصالح أنت وياه، أنت عاطل أنت منيح، أنت روح أنت جيب هذا، أنت تجوز هذا، أنت طلق هذا. وهذا تعتبره من أسوأ النهايات على الإطلاق. لسه تكون open ended أو ما تكون. طيب. Okay, now you have 3 pieces. You wrote 3 pieces. I want you to choose the best one you wrote. نقرأ كل واحد القطعة اللي كتبها ونمشي. نبدأ بالدور ولا حدا بده يبدأ؟ Choose the best one you wrote, the one that you're proud of, and read it to us and read it carefully. Go on.
It was the midnight when the phone rang. Hello, who's there? The father answered. The Israeli Defense Army with you. You have to leave your house in 5 minutes, the soldier said without showing any mercy. No, please, we are civilians. Please don't do it, the father said while his tears pouring down on his cheeks. You hear me? If you and your family didn't leave the house, we will destroy it even if you are inside it. We warned you, the soldier said. Then the call cut off. The father started running and screaming as if he lose his mind. In hysterical way he shouted, "Leave the house immediately, they will bomb it." All the family members went out without taking anything with them except themselves. They stood away from the house. Everything was silent. You hear only whispers. In a few minutes, the house, which is full of their memories, turned into a huge pile of rubble. Family members and all neighbors started crying and screaming, "Ya Allah!" The people together shouting.
Next.
An end as we hold it to be. It was one of February's extremely cold days. The wind blowing from the west did freeze the coffee in our hands while we were sitting on the stairs waiting for writing lecture. It was 3:30 p.m. and the dark heavy clouds in the sky made us feel like night had already fallen. We started wandering through the passages of the second floor when out of the blue saw an object falling from the third floor. The louder the voice of screaming was getting, the faster our heartbeats were becoming. I could not stand on my own 2 feet out of fear. Nevertheless, I immediately ran with my friends toward the edge of the building to see what had fallen. Staring at the ground below, we saw a girl laying there. The sound of people gathering around her, as well as the cries of her friends all over the place, made us feel even more baffled. Her blood was running underneath her shivering body, and her eyes were wide open and filled with tears. She could hardly breathe as her inhales were heard, as though she was suffocating. After security men had covered her with a blanket, they were trying to talk to her as to know whether she was conscious, while some lecturers were calling the ambulance. We were astounded that we did not even hear the voice of our lecturer, who had called us for ages. We entered the class and could say nothing for a while. We got even more cold that we were almost freezing out of fear. Our faces were pale and our facial expressions were ineffably weird. Our lecturer realized that we were not ready to start our lesson. Therefore, he asked us to write a paragraph about what we had seen to release stress and fear. We began writing down everything, however, none of us had written a comprehensible text. We handed in our papers and were laughed at as they were literally awkward. We could not sleep for days after the horrific scene we witnessed, and some of us, including me, suffered from fever for at least 2 days. We were astonished afterwards as we were informed that the girl was fine and that nothing had happened to her at all. None of her arms or legs had even broken. We could not believe that till we saw her a few days after walking and laughing with her friends. An end as we hoped it to be.
Very good. Very good writing. Next, please.
I am late, shouted Ahmed while getting up from his bed. He silenced the crying clock and put his suit on quickly. I am leaving to work, darling, said Ahmed. Won't you have a cup of milk with us before leaving? Said his wife. Could you have a look on my drawing, Dad? Said a little girl while looking impressively to her painting. They heard no answer. He was gone. Running down the stairs, Ahmed was rushing to catch the train. He ignored his neighbor who was about to say something. In the station, the train was racing the wind. You missed the train, son, said an old man who was sitting on a chair beside Ahmed. No, I missed everything except the train, replied Ahmed. The train will come tomorrow, he thought, and sat beside the old man.
Very good.
I never forget my first day at university. It was like another different life. Everything around me is strange. The educational system is totally different. Everything depends on the student himself. I was very nervous. I didn't know any of the students. In my first days, I looked around someone friendly. I saw a girl at the front of the room who also looked worried. So I decided to make friends with her. Even though I was shy, I went up and talked to her. And gradually I make more friendships and feel more comfortable.
That's a very interesting moment. لاحظت هذه القصة إنه it's just one like half a minute. That's how you grasp, how you zoom. Just one moment that could be life changing in so many ways. Very, very beautiful. One more. Okay. Yeah.
It's similar to Nim's story, but it's not.
Okay.
It was my last final exam at the end of the year. I felt like a prisoner in the last day of his detention. I woke up too early at that special day that I was waiting for to end my awful and terrible nightmare so quickly. I was singing the songs of freedom like the happiest parrots on the queen and the pleasant trees in the bosom of the nature. And at that day, everything sounds so great and okay, except one thing. It was the only car in the street at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I had to get into this horrible car, and I was sitting in the back seats in that horrible car, which is no longer suitable for human use. I felt like everything was misplaced in that broken car. It was like a bombarded one. I was about to fall down twice due to its damaged doors, so I had to keep holding my next door throughout the way that will last for half an hour. Although I was about to make the biggest mistake to be committed in my life and to say the most abusive and painful words in such a tyrannical way to the taxi driver. One look was the salvation. It was just a look on the taxi driver's wrinkled, rounded, black and exhausted eyes for only a few seconds, and through the mirror was really enough to tell me about his agony, suffering and sad stories. He was an old man in his 60s with such huge rounded and thick glasses on those eyes, and when he asked me about my destination, his unclear voice sounded like a 6-month baby who is tired of crying that no one can understand his message. At that moment, I lost my words and I wanted to say nothing but only one word in such a low and polite way: university.
It's very beautiful also. But then, whatever you write, as long as you zoom, like really zoom in on tiny little things, هذا مشهد قديش بياخذ؟ أقل من دقيقة برضه. That makes writing beautiful. نفس القصة اللي قلناها. It doesn't take a lot of time. أنا scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. And that's it. كلهم مع بعض ياخذوش 5 دقائق 10 دقائق. One more.
It take time. If the scene take time.
Because you're writing a short piece, don't cover a lot of time. Try not to. Yes.
An old determined Palestinian man had 3 sons. In the wrinkled face of the old man, you can see the strength and tiredness in this life. They are considering as a poor family and didn't have anything and money except his land in which he works hard to feed his family and to improve their status life. He is concerned with his children and raising them up by working hard in his land in order to be able to educate them. He has never led them to give helping in the land, but just motivate their son to continue their learning. After the son became youth and finishing their secondary school, and despite they are poor family, their father insists to sell his land to pay the university fees. Then 3 sons are sitting together, deciding to work hard to get money instead of their father's decision. They told their father, money can easily come and easily go, but land cannot. The reaction of son was not expected from his father, and they said to this father, we should, as a Palestinian people, maintain our land to subsequent generations.
That's very good also. Very good. But if you try to visualize, very good writing again, but it would be very not easy to visualize like we had here because it takes a lot of time.
Let's take out.
Yeah, not bad, but remember that if you're writing a short piece, you write about like short time, or you pick like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, where everything connects like we have with the events. Finally.
Okay, in the library, while Sam was reading in the library, Katrina came to the same place and sat down beside him for a short period. After that, Katrina asked the employee about some books, including the novel Les Miserables, and took the novel, then came to the same seat. Sam was monitoring her and attracted the name of the novel. Katrina notes that and started discussion with Sam about the novel. After that, their meetings became permanent in the library, and they discussed the books together. One day she gave him a nice gift and he felt very happy. Sam promised her that the next meeting he will bring gift for her. In next meeting, Katrina waited him, but he did not come. She was very sad. After a short period, they met together, but she ignored him and went away. Sam called her to meet him in the library, but she refused in the beginning. But he convinced her and accepted in the end. they met together. Sam justified his excuse for her, and she accepted that. Then they came back to their meetings happily.
Also very good writing. The fact that you're zooming there is very interesting. Karina, we'll stop here. Next time, again, I want only one thing. I want the ending of this, but don't write much. Write only one paragraph. Like this long. Don't write much. And if you please can send this to Ahmed's email address, that would be very important. جمعناهم وبعضهم نقراهم مع بعض عشان نعلق على كل واحد بشكل على اللغة، على الاستخدام، على language diction. Try to be logical, realistic, and make everything connect. ماشي? And then we'll talk about sentence variety next time. Thank you. هذول المهتمين في دعوة في نشاط